All right, so before we get started today, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone that subscribed recently. We're almost at 500 subscribers, and that makes me very happy. So if you haven't yet, consider subscribing, ring that bell, get the notification whenever I post a video. I like to make music, I like to produce, I like to share, I like to talk about it. I like it all. So if you are into that kind of stuff, please consider subscribing. Now let's get into today's video. If you're following me on Instagram, which is something I would recommend doing if you're into my music, then you would have already seen this little video I posted. And so today we're gonna go a little more in depth into how I made that beat. Okay, so I'm done with the introductions. Let's just get right into this beat. Right off the bat, got this MIDI track with a little synth on it. I'm gonna drag on this really nice lo-fi plugin I got from Audio Thing called Wires. This is what it looks like. Its default setting sounds like this. You can hear it adds a lot of static, a lot of warble. And that's the point. This is a really, really great plugin to just beat the shit out of a sound. I'm just gonna give it some little arpeggios and tweak the sounds just a tiny bit. And this thing has a really terrific echo built into it. Turn it on, mess with the time a little bit. Turn the feedback up just a smidge. I'm just gonna do a little run up the keyboard. Just collect the MIDI notes, and I'm gonna shorten them because I can't play that fast, that intentionally. Yeah, sounds nice and magical, like a weird robot starting up. Tweak the settings just a tiny bit more, mess with the echo a little bit, and then we're gonna freeze and flatten that little startup sound. And this is what we got. Gorgeous little audio file. Now really quick, I'm just gonna zoom through setting up a granulator track and dragging in the audio to the granulator. And we can just start playing with it. Just going to tweak the sounds a little bit, get a nice pad going, and I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit into the session where I found this nice little drum break. Gonna EQ the drum break a little bit. Definitely gonna toss on the wires. Can't get enough of the wires. Throw it on everything. Make everything lo-fi, why not? Crank the absolute shit out of the input. Turn the output down a little bit. Great, now it's time to record the granulator pad that we just made. It's worth noting, too, I don't have some grand plan here. I'm just kind of playing some random notes. I know it'll be easier to make sense of it later on than to make sense of it while I'm trying to figure out what notes are what. And you already know. We're going to freeze and flatten it. Do some EQ work. Make sure everything's sounding nice and cozy. Then we're going to throw a very subtle room reverb onto the drum break. And then we're gonna save it. What are we gonna call it? Ice Mall. What does it mean? I don't know. Now I'm thinking a bass line. Adding a bass line. EQ, saturation. Then right here I try to throw on a Ramzoid 808 cooker, but I don't think this song needs an 808, so I switch over to an electric piano VST and start messing around with that. Yes, that sounds good. Gonna freeze and flatten it, of course. Now let's record a second half with the same instrument. I'm going to continue to skip ahead. I just freeze and flatten those together. And I'm going to take this middle section, reverse it, and put it through this tape delay called Jungle Mist, another Audio Thing plugin. Audio Thing is the GOAT, let it be known. Then we're going to reverse it, drag it over, reverse it back, because I want it to be like a suck-in effect. And boom, there it is. Now it's time for some K-oscillator effects. Gonna get in there with an EQ, make sure it sounds nice and pretty. Now I'm gonna zoom through freezing and flattening everything and making it all pretty colors as well. Now I'm just going to go to Wavetable and grab one of my favorite bass lines that come with Wavetable, and we're just going to lay something down. Tweak the MIDI notes a little bit. And of course, we're going to freeze and flatten. Make sure everything is good and consolidated. And then we're going to drag everything into clip mode, and this is where the beat really starts to come together for me. I select all the tracks and make sure they're all set to loop. Then we can just delete the old tracks, because we have these now. Then we're going to throw everything to repitch mode, because I like Logic's Varispeed setting. Ableton doesn't have that, but this is kind of close. Next up is the drums. I'm going to spare everyone and not show you the process of me finding all the drums. It takes a lot of time, a lot of trial and error. I'm using pretty much only Count drums though, so if you like the sound of these drums, go check out Count drum packs. They are super duper solid. And yeah, just like that. That's the beat. Then I just, got OBS running and got a little clip with the webcam I'm using right now of me performing the beat. And this is a more kind of drawn out, open-ended version of what I posted to Instagram. Check it out. And that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you have any questions about the process or anything you saw me do that I didn't really talk about, feel free to ask. Totally open to answering any questions that anybody has. Hope it was a fun time for you guys. Consider subscribing. We're almost at 500. I think we can do it by the end of the week. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy yourself. Goodbye.